On this channel, we love exposing fake gurus, explaining why the new investment you've been pitched is a Ponzi scheme, and why athletes go broke. One thing we haven't discussed yet is Instagram being the mecca of fraudulent behavior. In this video, we're going to dive a little deeper than just fake gurus trying to sell you their get-rich-easy scheme. The theme of this video relies on this definition of fraud: a person or thing intended to deceive others, typically by unjustifiably claiming or being credited with accomplishments or qualities. Deception for personal gain is the reason why Instagram is full of frauds. Can you believe that this is the same person? This lady is showing us how two completely different poses can show two completely different results. And this is a side-by-side of an edited photo versus one that is not edited. And here's my favorite natural bodybuilder. The term influencer gets thrown around a lot as if it's an outcast profession, but social media influencers have real influence on the people consuming their content. I think boomers still like poking fun at someone who is an influencer as a career, but that's a patronizing way of downplaying someone's effect on the purchasing of consumer goods. Advertisers are willing to pay good money to have their product or service put in front of a large audience being promoted by someone the audience trusts. Influencer marketing expected to grow to be worth $13.8 billion this year. That's an 812% increase since 2016. That tells you that brands find influencer marketing to be very important to their advertising campaigns. I showed those pictures just a minute ago because influencers are incentivized to get your attention in any way possible. Unfortunately, the pendulum has swung way too far, and influencers are going to extremes to alter their appearance to receive views for the content. In the New Yorker article titled "The Age of Instagram Face," according to the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, Americans received more than 7 million neurotoxin injections in 2018 and more than 2.5 million filler injections. That year, Americans spent $16.5 billion on cosmetic surgery. 92% of these procedures were performed on women. This article was really interesting as the author visited numerous plastic surgeons who discussed the emergence of an Instagram face that had similar procedures as celebrities who had large social media followings. Thanks to injectables, cosmetic procedures are no longer just for people who want huge changes or who are deep in battle with the aging process. They're for millennials, or even, in rarefied cases, members of Gen Z. This is the real problem, in my opinion. The new role models of our youth are Instagram influencers who use deception to promote a beauty standard that is unattainable. Think about this: the highest paid and most popular beauty influencers can't even attain the image they present to the public naturally. Whether it be through Photoshop, Facetune, or plastic surgery, they're using devices to trick you into thinking their image is attainable. The result is obvious: young women feeling the need to get plastic surgery. On a deeper level, the subconscious messaging that is being perpetuated is that young women's only value is in how thick they are on social media. I think 95% of the most followed people on Instagram use Facetune easily, the popular plastic surgeon told me, and I would say that 95% of these people have also had some sort of cosmetic procedure. Let me be very clear, I see nothing wrong with people getting cosmetic surgery. The problem I have is when influencers aren't transparent about their surgeries, use of Facetune in Photoshop, or consumption of steroids. What makes it even worse is when these same people lie about their procedures and then sell products based on a false image. This clip is a perfect example of how different someone can look using different angles and lighting. This is a nice looking girl, but then she immediately becomes a new, more attractive version of herself with a slight change in the lighting and angle. Most photos from beauty or bathing suit influencers are deceptive, which I consider fraudulent. They're not displaying how they realistically look and then selling the image as being attainable by buying their mascara or eyelash extensions. Even influencers who haven't had any cosmetic work or use crazy filters will rely on unnatural poses to appear to have a physique more alluring than the one they really have. When you consider the demographics of the audience, we shouldn't be surprised to see depression and mental health issues arise at the rate society has seen over the last 10 years. Mental health problems are on the rise among adolescents and young adults, and social media may be a driver behind the increase. This AJMC article includes a research study that detailed a rise of 70% or more in mental health issues in adolescents over the past 10 years, which also coincides with social media use. Dove has released a moving video called Reverse Selfie to address the impact of editing apps on the self-esteem of young people. Dove's self-esteem research project found that 85% of girls were using retouching apps and image filters by the age of 13. By the age of 13, young women are already negatively influenced to dislike their bodies enough to use filters before posting photos online. On the other side, we have the male fitness industry that is full of frauds. If you donated $1 for every time a fitness influencer lied about being natural, you could solve Sarah McLachlan's homeless dog problem.
Be an angel for a helpless animal?
In the make money online niche, you have a plethora of fake gurus. In the fitness world, and just as prevalent, you have the fake natties. These are dudes who claim to be natural but have the physique of someone who looks about as drug-free as Lamar Odom walking out of a brothel. If you thought young women were the only ones who suffer from body image issues, think again. Men deal with it just as much. The most followed Instagram influencers in the fitness space have physiques that look like they were made in a lab. And guys don't follow fitness influencers for their stock tips. They want the seps to hug their sleeve as tight as a newly drafted player hugs Roger Goodell. Even worse, many of the gym bros flexing on your social media feed perpetuate fitness and diet myths to their loyal followers. The answer to getting a body that looks like it was produced by CGI is to just eat more protein. Link in the description. Attention sells in the social media world, and the outlier physiques receive the most. Fitness influencers are incentivized to go to the extremes to lie about their obvious steroid use and maximize their physical appearance. Unfortunately, many of the youth following these completely natural, wink wink, bodybuilders don't know that real gains happen when you eat clean, trend hard, and Avar give up. Why do fake gurus promote their get-rich-easy schemes on Instagram? Because they make insane amounts of money. Sure, CoffeeZilla and I may call you out. To them, who cares? They're making millions and we don't affect their business enough to shut us down. I'm not going to go in detail with fake gurus as it's a topic I cover extensively on the channel. If you're interested, I have plenty of other videos calling these frauds out. An awesome subreddit to check out is called Instagram Reality, where posters help point out all of the Photoshop fails and extensive uses of Facetune and filters so you can see for yourself just how prevalent this practice is. All of these exercises aren't meant to shame people for using filters and wanting to clear up some blemishes or look a little skinnier. I just think it's really important to become aware of all of the fraud on the platform so that you can best determine what is good for you and what is not good for you. Without a doubt, the most influential family on the prevalence of body dysmorphia and use of Photoshop is the Kardashians and Jenners. Another client is Kim Kardashian West, whom Colby Smith described to me as patient zero for Instagram face. Ultimately, the goal is always to look like Kim, he said. Kardashian West, who has inspired countless cosmetically altered doppelgangers, insists that she hasn't had major plastic surgery. According to her, it's all just Botox fillers and makeup, but she also hasn't tried to hide how her appearance has changed. It's impressive the media empire that has been built from this family, but nothing about them is real. They've all had major plastic surgery to every part of their body, and they use Photoshop on every photo. These are the role models for the girls in the Dove ad who alter their photos and don't like their body by the age of 13. This is who they look up to. I just saw this post on Instagram Reality, which I thought was perfect for this video, so I'm going to read it. Sorry for reading, but it's super interesting. This person was recently verified on Facebook and Instagram, and within 2 weeks I started getting invitations to Instagram groups for verified profiles only. Ever wonder why you see these super rich people with large followings? If you have money, you can be famous. Simple metrics of manipulating the appearance of fame. So what happens is you get invited to the blue check DM groups. If you have a blue check, you get in free. If you don't, you pay a hefty price to get in. So basically what happens is you get in these groups and they'll comment on all your photos to boost engagement. So it's fake, high quality followers and likes. These are actual accounts bought from normal people and then run by bots. Fake news PR. BS news recycling websites will be used to write articles about you. You pay a heavy fee for 10 articles, and you can get a blue check through one of the PR people available who can submit you to Insta through paying off a connection. Boom, you're internet famous. Everyone who sees you in the Explore page thinks you are anyway, so they're motivated to follow your badly photoshopped self. What next? Basically, this whole post is talking about how when you get verified, you join these groups and then you post, and then all the people in the group will comment on your photo. So when you post the photo, you have all of these blue check mark people commenting on your photo, and it's like you'll see this commonly where they'll have like 2 or 3 words, the same comments every single time, and these people will have, on their post within a few minutes they'll all of a sudden have all these blue check mark people, which boosts the algorithm. Want to look like you rub elbows with recognizable names? B-list stars are available to promo you and act like they know you for the same price as their appearance fee. Now you look extra famous. The list is endless. I'm very thankful for this person for posting this, as it's a deep dive into what it looks like for actual fraud on Instagram. And if you think about it, these influencers are getting paid by brands based on their engagement numbers. This is fraud. When you go to a brand and say, hey, I get 500 comments and 10,000 likes on my picture, well, if it's all bot or if it's all fake, that is fraud. I really do think the fraudulent practices of fake gurus and influencers have a profound impact on people's mental health and how they perceive themselves. None of us are immune to comparison syndrome. I'm listening to an audiobook now called Predictably Irrational, which covers how we all need context for figuring out the value of a product or service. I think the same thing happens with attraction to an extent. That could be attraction to a woman, attraction to a new business idea, or attraction to a different lifestyle than the one you currently have. I think Instagram is all of these potential issues on steroids. Any insecurity you have will be maximized to the 100th degree by scrolling on that app. My Instagram Explore feed is a bunch of funny sports clips and hot Filipinas in bathing suits. I'm a consumer too. It's painfully addicting, I must admit, but it is wild to think about our country's youth and their consumption of these apps that are just not meant to be used by teens. I think we should all be aware of who we follow on social media, as it really does have a drastic impact on our self-esteem and how we view ourselves. Thanks for watching.